I wanted to make sure that I did a video for you for Friday because it's Fabulous Friday, so I've got a fabulous card for you. I'm actually in California with my cousins because my Aunt Evelyn passed away a few months ago and we're finally able to have her funeral. But I wanted to make sure you still had some really pretty things with paper to make. My Aunt Evelyn was, it's funny, I didn't even plan for this to be a tribute to her, but in the end it is because she was my grandmother's sister and we were actually very close. And she was also my godmother. And so we were just very close knit. My grandmother and she were very close. And then her being my godmother, we were really close. So it's interesting that I happened to do these purple cards for this Friday because her favorite color was purple. And I hadn't planned for it to be a little bit of a tribute to her, but I guess it will be. So I wanted to let you guys know that this purple posy scalloped ribbon is on clearance right now. If it's still available in the store, it's only a few dollars. I think it's only $2 or $3. And you can see it's very faded, like a lavender. I mean, it really is a posy, a very faded lavender edging. But I just loved it and wanted to make sure I used some of it on these cards. So the layout is actually not too crazy difficult, but I sure do like how they turned out in the end. I love this paper. I think I've done some other cards with you guys using this paper. If I haven't, then you guys have missed out because this paper is just plain stunning. I really cannot say enough about this paper. It's right now, it's currently not available, but if you go back and look at my website, you'll see that I have the purple, the Blackberry, it's called the Blackberry Birthday, I think, or Blackberry, what's it called? It's called the Blackberry Bliss card, the Blackberry Bliss card class. And it's down my page in my videos, and I still have 6 more kits, or not 6, a few more kits using this Blackberry paper. I can't seem to find the sample of it. I've had a sample, but I can't seem to grab it quickly, so I'll pass. But the paper is just stunning. I really can't get enough of this paper. It just has such a pretty shine to it. There's so many things you can do with it. I haven't actually found where I couldn't do something with it. I've used it for everything under the sun. I really can't get enough of this paper. I was looking to see if there was a packet of it, but I guess I've hidden it away somewhere. I've squirreled it away, and so now I can't find it when I need it, obviously, but it's really a stunning paper. It's well worth the purchase. It's one of our designer series specialty papers, which means that it has a lot more color to it than a lot more foil. As you can see, look at all that foil on this sheet. So much foil. And same with on this one, so much foil. Pretty much every single sheet has foil, which is rare in the designer series paper. We don't always have a specialty paper like that, but this time we do. So if you find my Blackberry Beauty post, you will see the 6 cards, and you can click on, oh, I need to post a new link. You know what, I'll just post a new link here in a minute. Because I realized there's a new link that I have for it. I only have a few more spots available for it, so sign up. All right, I'll stop my yapping and get started. And then we're going to be using the Peaceful Moments stamp set. I had forgotten how useful this stamp set is. It really has a lot of versatility with all of the different sentiments. So much versatility with this particular stamp set. So let's go ahead and start off with our... We'll start off with this one here. And I'm using the Very Vanilla cardstock for my inside as well as for my envelope. I normally don't use Very Vanilla, but this time I just felt like it fit. And so I'm using it for the inside and I'm using it for my envelope. I don't have anything to stamp just because Blackberry Bliss is such a dark cardstock. You really do need to add some kind of layer on the inside so people have a space to write. And so I actually made a ton. I made more than, I think something like 90 to 100 cards for my cousins so they could send thank you cards for all the kindness from people, for people taking care of my Aunt Evelyn, and any kindness and gestures that they sent after she passed, any cards or flowers or anything. So, all right. Let's see, there we go. I don't normally have a card that goes right to the edge. I'm not always a huge fan of cards that go straight to the edge, but this one intrigued me because it actually is going to pop up. I want the layer to lift up from this base. So I normally would use strips for it, but I actually don't think I have the strips handy. No, I don't. So, you know, Stampin' Up! Sells these long strips. I could actually use this as a long strip. They sell these very long strips of adhesive that you could use to, they're strips about as long as this. And you use them when you have obviously a long piece. People also use them for, let me cut out another long piece here. People also use them for, they use them when you have a long piece. They use them when you have a, when you're doing a shaker card. I was going to say, we'll have to do those one time. I don't necessarily like the traditional shaker cards, but I wouldn't mind showing you guys how to do a faux shaker card. I like the idea of the shaker cards. They're so cool, but I don't always get them. Yeah, so you see having these nice long strips is easier than popping, you know, oh gosh, like 20 dimensionals on here. So I just want to make sure this is nice and secure, so I'll make sure I have one on each corner, and this should hold up the center. And so we'll just peel this off. So if you have the long strips, that would be great. In this case, I just cut off my edges so that I wouldn't have to use 1,000 of the little hexagonal dimensionals. Might as well use up the long strips when you can. You know that I use up every edge of those dimensionals. So then we're going to go ahead and go back over here, and we're going to line it up so that it's right on top. Okay, yeah, see, I'm having a little trouble because, see, sometimes when I do these, they come out a little bit off. You see how that's like popped down a little bit? But maybe because it wasn't popped. No, it was popped up enough. But that's okay. So we've got our stamp there, and then we're going to go ahead and stamp. This one I'm going to stamp thank you on the front. Okay. This one I'll stamp thank you in Blackberry Bliss. Because, and this is fresh freesia, you guys. So let me tell you the measurements of this. This is 5.5. This is 5.5 inches long. The fresh freesia is 3 1/4. And so that means that this designer series paper is only 3 inches wide, which is really, really good because it's 12 by 12 paper. So that means I can get 4 long strips of 3-inch. And so I can get 8 pieces of this from one 12 by 12 piece. And that's a really good width. So 3 inches by 5.5. And the fresh freesia is 3 1/4 by 5.5. And I just layered them on top of each other, as you saw, and then added all those dimensionals. So now we'll use our Blackberry Bliss ink to stamp. This is a relatively quick class today. I actually had a lot of great success. We met face to face last week and did a a $10 card class. So I'm looking at how I can offer a $10 card class online. I'm currently working on that. So I will keep you guys posted as I go through and get that sorted. I thought I wasn't sure about doing this $10 card class face to face. I was a little worried, like, how was it going to go? It actually went fantastic. So I was really, really pleased, and it turned out fantastic. All right, so there's my thank you. And I wonder if I can get one more here. I can. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and that'll be our next one for our other card. And that's the everyday label punch. Classic, perfect label for a standard card of any kind. I've used this for many different things. I use these as labels for cards. I've used them as labels for photo boxes. A friend wanted a bunch of photo boxes. He also wanted some labels for some photo albums, and I used them with that. I mean, you really can get a lot of mileage out of this particular punch. I've used it a bunch. So I went ahead and stuck with the fresh freesia and for the so I'll go ahead and put 3 little gold pieces on here. Okay. Gold, these are metallic pearls, and they come in gold and silver. And so that's what I'm using there. So then we'll go to our next card. So there's one card. So then we'll go to our next card, which is the owl card. Now the owl card has a little bit more of a traditional style because it's just several layers. It actually reminds me a lot of Harry Potter because of the owl. I don't know, something about the owl makes me think of Harry Potter. And so I have found myself very inspired by the little owl. So this card, oh, sheesh. I'm gonna have to wipe up here. I made such a mess. Let's see, where's my Kleenex? Oh gosh, I have my Kleenex right here. I think the cats knocked it down. Yep, they did. Let me see if I can find a tissue here. Here we go. I have a paper towel. Wipe that up. Oh, you can't see. I dropped the glue down on my work surface here. So I just want to pick it up so I don't get it all over my card. I don't know if you can actually see, but I don't think you can. So there is, I put my vanilla inside, okay, and I'll take my eraser, my glue eraser here. In just a minute, I'll let this dry and I'll take my glue eraser and I'll erase off the bottom here. So then we're gonna make our cover. And first I want you to take, this is a 4 1/4 by 11-inch card, and then I scored it a 5 1/2. I just like that style of card. So then that means that this is 4 inches by 5 1/4, and then we go down another quarter, and this is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Okay, and that's how you get a 1/4 inch layer. So I know I've repeated these types of things to you guys before, but I tell all my people again and again and again, just because I didn't know how to cut paper until someone showed me how to layer. I didn't know that you could go down a 1/4 inch, and that's how you get these nice edges. I had the hardest time trying to figure out how to make an edge, and I only learned it because someone showed me that you always go down a 1/4 inch, and that's how you can get your nice edges. Okay, so isn't that pretty? That's just the prettiest card paper. So let me go ahead and snip this off, and then I'll take a little Scotch tape, and I'm just going to wrap the Scotch tape on the back, or place it on the back to hold this nice stiff purple posy ribbon tightly. Okay. All right, place that there. Yep, there we go. And then we'll go ahead and I'm just going to adhere this flat. I didn't want to put dimensionals on the back of this. I'm just going to adhere it flat right here. Let me see, is that straight? Yeah. And this is the monoliquid glue. I don't normally like the liquid glue, but I've been converted to it. Honestly, a huge part of that is because of its affordability. It's only $4. And that glue will last for days. I am amazed at how much mileage I can get out of one of these little bottles. If you store it upside down, you can get a lot of mileage out of it. I thought one of them, I used it in a video, like, I think it was last month. I was like, oh, I think this one's running out. Nope, it's still going. And so, no, actually, it just finished yesterday, but I've been using it for more than a month. That's not true. I'd been using it for more than a month, and then it finally conked out yesterday. So as I was making those thank you cards for my cousins, so I took and made a ton of cards with this paper for my cousins so they could give them to people. All right, thinking of you with all my heart. That's another nice sentiment. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on this. I always like to put 4, but you can put 3 if you want. I just always like to put 4, 1 in each corner. I feel like I just like to make sure my stuff doesn't move, and that's kind of a wide ribbon. So as a tip, sometimes it's wise to make sure you have enough to go over the ribbon, and then just center it over here. Is it centered? Yeah, there we go. All right, and then I'm going to add a little bit of those, a few of those dots. I'm just going to use my tweezers since I have them handy here. Okay. And then, okay, so we've got just a couple little dots here. I might put a couple more, might as well. I always put them in odd numbers. Okay. All right, so there we go. So now we have our 2 cards. Like I said, they weren't super difficult in design. It was really more of just making sure I could showcase that paper. That was my goal for these particular designs, was making sure I could showcase that paper. And I did. And so I think that turned out really nice. And those little pearls just add a nice little something to them. And so, well, I hope you enjoyed my little class. Don't forget to use this host code when you're shopping with me this month. I'm so, you know, glad whenever you guys can pick up something, you know, pick it up using this host code. That helps me a lot. Selecting me as your demonstrator, Jennifer Jenkins in San Antonio, or Fabulous Stamper, and that way you can, you know, I get the credit for it. I appreciate all that you guys do for me, and thanks for tuning in, and I hope you have a great day. All right, thanks so much, guys. Bye.